Get the sun behind me. It's September 10th, 2025. I am on Big Sag right now, and thankfully it's glass. Very calm. So I got dropped off by Mike on the tow service on Hook Island, and I'm heading over to Cache Bay. All right, here we are. Just paddled across Cache Bay, and this is my first portage. 20 rodder. We're gonna skip the, we're kind of going around the, I guess it would be the, trying to think, eastern portage out of Cache Bay. So we're gonna skip the Silver Falls portage this year. There's we're gonna take 4 different portages through this way to get into Saganagons. Here's my Winona canoe. So first portage with it. Checked out the portage clearing position condition on the Quetico website, and most of these were cleared, or every portage I think I'm going to travel on during this trip was either cleared in July or August this year, so shouldn't be any major issues, I don't think. All right, September 10th, 2025. This is the second portage out of Cache Bay, heading into Saganagons. Time. I dropped off at Hook Island, paddled down past Cache Point into Cache Bay, and then this is the first 20 rod portage we just took out of Cache Bay. I'm in this little pool or pond here, and like I said, we'll have 3 more portages into Saganagons. See if I can skip this portage altogether. I don't know. I had to lift off over one beaver dam, and looks like the water's going to be deep enough, so I'm going to keep paddling until I can't anymore. All right, second portage between Saganagons. This one's definitely more overgrown. Said this was cleared in July, but looks like a lot of stuff has fallen down since then. Well, so much for the 90 rod portage. I guess it did help paddling up that Beaver Creek. This was like maybe 15 rods, 20 rods at the most. No, not even 20. Maybe 15 rods. So that was nice. All right, this is portage number 3 of 4 for the day. This is a 90 rod portage. just finished the third portage from Saganagon into Saganagons, so we got one more. That last one was supposed to be 90, but it turned out to be quite a bit shorter by paddling up the Beaver Creek. So I'm not sure what the other one. This next one also says 90, but we'll see what happens when we get there. I think more likely this is going to be a full portage. It doesn't look like there's a stream there at all. Ooh, some fish in here. All right, welcome to my destination lake for the day, Saganagons. So we started at Hook Island here again, went around Cache Point to the right of Gull Rock, to the right of this point, and then into here. 20 rod portage, 40 rod portage. This one ended up being a beaver dam, ended up being about 15 rods. And then this last one I just took was a 90 rod. So I am right here now. I'm going to go up to one of these two campsites, either one of these or this, and that's where I'm going to spend the night tonight. I haven't looked at the clock, but I'm guessing it's about 1 o'clock. I'll eat some lunch and go for a swim. Ta-da! Did see a tandem canoe with a couple people here on Saganagons once I got paddling, but they kept going further west, so I'm going to stop here. I'm here on Saganagons. I caught a smallmouth bass a little while ago, so I'm going to have some fish tonight. Didn't plan on fish, but oh, chicken. That's always so happy to chicken. It's defrosted now. All right, it is September 11th, I think. Second day of my Quetico Solo trip. And I'm just packing up to leave Saganagons. Everything's just a little damp from the rain last night. And our goal today is to get to Blackstone. Anyway, today then, we're gonna paddle down Saganagons, go through Slate. Oh no, we're not. We're gonna go over here. This is a little Blackstone river creek. So we're gonna go in through the creek. There's the creek here. And the hope is to get to this campsite and find it unoccupied. September 12th. 12th. So it was off the date. It's gloomy, but it's not raining. A little cool. I'd say it's... Alright, it is raining. Steadily, but not downpour. And I'm just entering the Blackstone River. I don't know if it's actually called the Blackstone River, but I'm going to call it that. Took me a little while to find this, but we're on the first portage from Saganagons towards Blackstone. heading to the second portage now, towards Blackstone. It's still raining with no sign of let up. This is it's gonna be a soaker today. So much for 5/100ths of an inch. I'm losing a friend. It's raining again. Alright, here we are on the last portage into Blackstone. Raining again. So much for 20% chance of rain. It's been pretty much raining steadily all day long. Still raining, and now I'm hearing some thunder every once in a while. But we are on Blackstone, so it's just a matter of paddling until I get to the campsite. Well, doesn't look like anyone's here, so that's good news. Before it really starts to rain. I just got up out of the tent because it had stopped raining, and didn't eat supper, just hopped in the tent because I was cold and wet. Fell asleep for a while, got up, and now look how nice it looks. Good morning. It is September 13th. This is day 3 of my Quetico trip, and I'm going to hang here on Blackstone today. Yesterday was a very, very wet day. Rained most of the day, so everything's pretty much wet and damp. But it is not supposed to rain today. It looks cloudy, but there is no chance of rain. Listen to this noise. No, it's not gonna do. There it goes. The heck is that? So I've decided, I guess just as I'm going here, I'm doing it. So that's how I decided. I'm paddling around the entire perimeter of the western half of Blackstone. Haven't mentioned, but Blackstone Lake is named after Chief Blackstone. Native American, I forget the tribe unfortunately. They had a village on Kawa Bay back in the 1800s. Got a big beaver lodge here. You can see it's getting ready for winter too. It's got all this food getting piled up here underneath the water. I think I left at 9:30 in the morning to paddle the let's see, what would be western shore of the lake. Good morning and welcome to day 4, September 14th, 2025. It's 9 o'clock in the morning and I'm heading out from my campsite on Blackstone. So apparently Boundary Waters Quetico is where I go to find sunglasses. Wabakimi is where I go to lose them. The second pair of sunglasses I found in the Boundary Waters. We are on the second unnamed lake between Blackstone and Slate. My next portage is going to be a long one. It's 127. Somewhat long. Time for lunch. Just finished up the long portage between Slate and the first unnamed lake going towards Black Rock. Alright, we're getting close. You can hear the Silver Falls. That'll be my last portage today. Okay, here we have the notorious Silver Falls portage, 130 rods. Last one of the trip. Alright, gonna be shortly heading out into Cache Bay proper.
But in doing so,
Erase
each
the
individual was stronger than any fittest. If
sound
we
on
are
this
to
one.
be as successful as
I'm
our
listening to an audiobook.
ancestors, the vulnerable apes, we must do.
Mark my words. It's gonna be a beautiful sunset. Alright, here we are, Cache Bay. Looking glassy. Day 5. Canoe is packed and loaded. And ready to head out. Today, gonna get picked up at 9 o'clock. Great trip. Probably the only thing I didn't particularly care for was the rain as I was setting up camp on Friday night. Yeah. Could have done without that. Saying goodbye to Cache Bay and hello to Saganagons.